Welcome to NFL Imperialism. You may have seen this concept floating around YouTube, but I wanted to put my own spin on it by going through every season in the Super Bowl era and hopefully improving upon it. Before we get going, I humbly ask that you consider subscribing to the channel and dinging that bell icon for notifications. This is the channel's primary series, but we do other things as well in both the sports and the entertainment world. We're so glad you're here. Thank you very much. If you're interested in a full thorough breakdown of how imperialism works, feel free to take a look at the first 3 or so minutes of our initial video of the 1966 season. That video is linked on its own in the description below. Right beneath that is a link to a playlist of all completed imperialism videos to date. Otherwise, we're ready to start. The 1992 season is upon us, and with it comes the birth of a new dynasty, a short dynasty, but a dynasty nonetheless. The Dallas Cowboys winning 3 of the next 4 Super Bowls, including this one in 1992. Super Bowl 27 was won against, guess who, the Buffalo Bills, making their 3rd consecutive Super Bowl as AFC champions. This one, though, was their worst loss of them all, 52-17, which could have been worse if not for Leon Lett's fumble near the end of the game. Naturally, as Super Bowl champions and a dominant force, the Dallas Cowboys are number 1 in the overall rankings. This is still the midst of the NFC's long Super Bowl winning streak, and no AFC team finds itself in the top 5. They sure find themselves in the bottom 5, though, in fact, occupying the entire bottom 4. Who will win 1992 imperialism? There's only one way to find out. Let's get on the field. And our first spin of 1992 imperialism will give us our reigning champions, the Redskins. They're going to head to the Northeast. We're getting right on the field. They're going to be playing their division rivals, the Philadelphia Eagles. This game has been a defensive slugfest, relentless pass rush from both sides, and run stopping. The Eagles stop Ernest Biner on 3rd and 1, and the Redskins are just going to go for it. Why not? 26 seconds to go. See if they can't get some points and end this game. 4th and 1, the pitch goes to Ernest Biner. He's actually going to pick up some yards down the sideline. He doesn't get out of bounds, and the Eagles hold him up, and the clock's going to run out, and we're heading to overtime, tied at 3 apiece. Washington gets the ball first in OT. Mark Rippon's going to drop back to pass. He's going to find Gary Clark. He's running out toward midfield. Wes Hopkins forces the ball loose. This is the first turnover of the game for either team. Can the Eagles take advantage? They're on the 34-yard line. This handoff goes to Herschel Walker. Breaks it out to the outside. He's going to outrun the defense, break a tackle, and it took until overtime, but this game has its first touchdown, and what was a defensive struggle ends in thrilling fashion. The Eagles, in overtime, win it 9-3. We mentioned the Redskins were indeed last season's imperialism champion, but the year before and now the year after, they are the first team out. The Philadelphia Eagles will take over their land, and 1992 is already guaranteed a new imperialism champion. We know the story by now. When the Miami Dolphins are landed on the wheel, they're forced into a game on the road. This will be at Tampa Bay against the Bucs. Tampa's been putting up a fight, actually leading by 3 in the 3rd quarter. But this pitch goes to Tony Page, and he will get his way into the end zone, giving Miami the lead at 21-17. Tampa Bay, though, they've been hanging in there, and they're going to give themselves one more chance to get back in here. 4th quarter, 3rd down. This pass is forced to the tailback, is intercepted by Lewis Oliver. The Dolphins will quickly turn that into a touchdown, and they're able to come away with a 28-17 victory. And with that victory, the Dolphins will claim the entire state of Florida for themselves. They take the Tampa Bay Buccaneers off the map, and they advance. We've now seen 2 teams get eliminated. The next one up on the wheel is the Rams. They're going to head into the Northeast. So the Raiders are the only team who have expanded so far this season without playing. They now have to defend that land against the Rams. This Battle of Los Angeles has been surprisingly one-sided. Leading by 17, the Rams pitch it to Cleveland Gary, twirling his way into the end zone for the touchdown. The Rams have traveled to the Coliseum and taken a 31-7 lead. The Raiders score late to save a little bit of face. The Rams win this one on the road, 31-13. Maybe it's just an NFC versus AFC thing. The Rams aren't particularly good, but they will win this game. They'll take over the Raiders' territory and expand their land. No time to waste here. We're going right into our next game. The wheels landing on the Dolphins again. They're going to head north, slightly northwest. Either way, they're now heading into Atlanta to face the Falcons. The Dolphins had trouble moving the ball for most of this game, but they've turned it up here in the second half. Leading 13-3, Dan Marino is going to find Mark Clayton. Leaping catch in the end zone for the touchdown. The Dolphins give themselves a nice, comfortable lead here at 20-3. The teams exchange scores before it's all over. Miami wins this game. Final score 27-9. The Dolphins were called into action quickly, twice, but they take care of business both times. They take Atlanta off the map. They expand their land, and they now enter a period of isolation. After a bit of expansion, we've now landed on a game. The San Diego Chargers will head to face the LA Rams. This was actually a 4-point Charger lead at halftime, but it did not stay that way. Stan Humphries finds Anthony Miller at around the 10-yard line. He'll run it in the rest of the way for the touchdown. This was the Chargers' second touchdown in the third quarter. They would score 2 more, plus 2 more in the fourth quarter, for a final score annihilation of 56-10. Unlike the Dolphins before them, the Rams were not able to come up and win a second game at Imperialism. The Chargers in 1992 surprised many people by making the playoffs. They also surprised with the way they win this game. They will take over the Rams' territory, and along with the 49ers and the Seahawks, control the Pacific Coast. Back to the wheel we go. It will be landing on the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're going to head to the southeast into the territory of their in-state rival, the Philadelphia Eagles. This should be a defensive battle. And it has been. Pittsburgh has kicked 4 field goals, while Philly has gotten nothing done offensively. Neil O'Donnell gets this pass off to Dwight Stone. That will be the game's first touchdown. It took until the fourth quarter, but it gives the Steelers a 19-0 lead, a lead they would hold on to and also serve as this game's final score. While the Eagles were a top 5 team in 1992, the Steelers were the AFC's number 1 seed. In this particular battle, it was the Steelers who prevailed. They take over the Philadelphia Eagles territory and now own the states of Pennsylvania and Maryland. After quite a bit of expansion, we've now landed on a game. The Browns will travel to Detroit to take on the Lions. The Lions have been settling for field goals while the Browns are getting touchdowns. Case in point with a 7-6 lead here, this touchdown pass will go to wide receiver Michael Jackson. That will extend the Brown lead to 14-6, a lead they will take into the half. The Lions, though, in the second half are making a comeback. From inside the 1-yard line, the draw play will go to Barry Sanders, gets his way into the end zone. The Lions, earlier in the game here, will kick this extra point. That will narrow the lead to 14-13. Browns kicker Matt Stover comes out for this field goal attempt, and he misses it. And in turn, his counterpart, Lions kicker Jason Hanson, comes out for this field goal kick. He makes it. The Lions lead 16-14. They get yet another field goal. It's 19-14 with under 2 minutes to go. The Browns on the comeback trail. Mike Tomczak is going to look deep for tight end Mark Bavaro. It's overthrown and intercepted by Ray Crockett. He brings it back a little bit past midfield. From this point, the Lions are able to run out the clock. Despite occasionally getting in their own way, they come out with a 19-14 victory. Invading teams had won 5 consecutive games here in 1992. The Lions break that streak. They win the game, they take over the Cleveland Browns territory, and they move their land into northern Ohio. We're finally starting to see some give and take in this Cowboys-Oilers matchup. It'll be in Houston. And Houston's holding on to a 14-10 lead late in the third quarter. Warren Moon drops back to pass, holds it for too long. Ken Norton will close in and get the safety. That'll cut the lead to 14-12. On the subsequent drive, Dallas takes it down to the 6-yard line. Troy Aikman's going to find Michael Irvin for the touchdown. The Cowboys take their first lead of the game, 19-14 in the fourth quarter. They'll wind up putting one more on the board. They come away with the 26-14 win. The Cowboys have been undergoing a little bit of a struggle as of late, but as we know, they will win the Super Bowl in the real 1992 season. For the first time in a while, they will own the entire state of Texas. The Houston Oilers are out of the game, and the Cowboys move on. For the second time after a long round of expansion, the Detroit Lions will be taking the field. This time they're traveling to Cincinnati to play the Bengals. And once again, the Lions find themselves trailing 14-6. Rodney Peete will drop back to pass. He's holding the ball for too long. Tim Crumry grabs a hold of him, eventually goes down. This time the Lions will have to settle for yet another field goal. 47 yards from Jason Hanson is good. It is now 14-9. The Bengals, later in the third quarter, take it down to the line 13. Boomer Esiason going to throw to Carl Pickens. Makes the catch in coverage for the touchdown. It's been another tale of Detroit kicking field goals and their opponents scoring touchdowns. 21-9 is the score here. It's now 21-16 late in the game. Rodney Peete trying to lead the comeback. He's going to fire deep. And this ball is caught by Mel Farr. It's going to give them a chance here. 14 seconds to go. They're going to need the end zone. From the 29-yard line, they're going to run it to Barry Sanders. That's a lot of confidence in Barry. He gets it to about the 16, and he's taken down from there. The Lions had a shot, didn't quite take it, and the Bengals are going to hold on to the 21-16 victory. The Lions are yet another team other than the Miami Dolphins who have won a game but could not win their second one. The Bengals hold the fort. They take over the Lions' territory, and as Cincinnati do, they win when you don't expect them. We're getting an AFC West battle here. The San Diego Chargers will travel to face the Denver Broncos. The Chargers are in complete control, leading 14-0. They have third and goal from the 14-yard line. Little time remaining in half. On the play action, this pass goes to Ronnie Harmon. Gets around the defender, dives in for the touchdown. The Chargers will extend their lead to 21-0. The defense clamped down the entire game. Denver could not score at all. The Chargers win 35-0. So far in this Imperialism, this Charger team is absolutely for real. scoring 91 points in 2 games. They take over the Denver Broncos territory and as of right now might have the largest piece of land in the nation. We've now eliminated 10 teams from 1992 Imperialism. The Bears are up next. They're going to head to the northeast. That's going to catch the northwestern corner of the Indianapolis Colts' territory. That's going to be our next game. The Colts trailed 16-3 at halftime, but here in the second half, they've unleashed a barrage of takeaways and touchdowns. Those first 2 touchdowns were from Jesse Hester. So too is this third one. That will give the Colts now a 24-16 lead. They get the ball back again, and they've taken it down to the 10-yard line. Just under 3 minutes to go, the pitch goes to Maurice Carthon. He fumbles. Mike Singletary will force it, and the ball's loose, and the Bears will pick it up. They break a tackle. They're running it back. They're going to cross midfield. They have a chance to take this back all the way, but the Colts are going to catch up, get them down at about the 22. But it's now third down. The Bears have 1:42 to go. Harbaugh will drop back, step up in the pocket, gets rid of the ball to Tom Waddle. He gets it down to about the 5-yard line. First and goal, 1:24 remaining. Harbaugh will drop back, throws into coverage, but Wendell Davis will make the catch for the touchdown. What a turnaround. The Bears give it up, and they get it right back. With a 2-point conversion here, they're going to tie this game up at 24. But it looks like they're going to kick the extra point. Oh, it's a 28-year-old game, folks. The AI is what it is. The extra point from Kevin Butler is going to be good. So they will line up for the onside kick here, trailing by 1. The onside kick is laid down, and the Colts will recover it. And that's going to do it for this game. Maybe one can imagine the Bears went for 2 and missed. I don't know. But the Colts win this game 24-23. Lost in the shuffle a bit of that crazy ending is that the 1992 Imperialism season is turning into the year of the field goal. The Bears kicked 3 in this game when they had a chance to get 7 on one of them at least. That said, they will lose this game. The Colts will take over the Bears' territory and they expand their land. We get right back to this wheel. It's close, but it's going to land on the Vikings. They're going to be set northeast, and that's going to hit the territory of the Green Bay Packers. Classic NFC Norris Division matchup next. Still scoreless in the first. The Packers are punting the ball away to Anthony Parker. Gets it up about 5 yards, is fighting off some tacklers, but the ball is out. That's Packers wide receiver Sanjay Beach. May as well be alone on the beach. No one even in the picture here till the very end. The Packers open to scoring on a special teams touchdown. That's going to give them a 7-0 lead. We head to the second half now. It's 10-0 Green Bay. From the 37, Vikings quarterback Rich Gannon. He's going to look deep to Chris Carter. He's going to shake the defender, score the touchdown, the game's first offensive touchdown. That'll close the gap to 10-7. We now head to the fourth quarter. The Vikings are knocking on the door. Third and goal from the 6. The pitch goes to backup running back Keith Henderson. The Packers are all over it. Might the Vikings go for it? No. They're going to bring out kicker Fuad Revez, one of the greatest names in NFL history. A 27-yard field goal attempt to tie things up. Kick is up. It's shaky, but it's good. The Packers now have 3rd and 20. And with Brett Favre, you imagine they're going to take a shot. He drops back to pass, fires it deep to Sterling Sharp, goes up and makes the catch. That's going to set up a short field goal here, 23 yards. Chris Jackie to win the game, and he misses. And the game now heads to overtime after that short field goal miss. We're tied at 10 apiece. The Packers force a 3-and-out to start overtime, but the Vikings return to favor. The Packers are now punting. The snap goes to Vince Workman. Throws an awkward pass. It's intercepted. That's Audrey McMillan, a Tecmo Super Bowl legend, running it back in for the touchdown. A pick 6 from an All-Pro on a fake punt is what gets this victory for the Vikings. They survive it in overtime, 16-10. Another crazy ending that's becoming quite the theme here in 1992 Imperialism. The Packers can't hold the homestead there. The Vikings will take over their territory, and they are the final team remaining from the old NFC Central. Let's see what we got on tap next. The wheel is selecting the Indianapolis Colts. They're going to head to the northwest. Not much room to hit the Vikings territory, but hit it they do. That's going to be our next game. The Colts lead 14-10 in the fourth quarter, looking to pad their lead. They're right behind midfield. Jeff George is going to look for Jesse Hester. That combination's been working, but not on this play. Audrey McMillan, welcome back, his second pick six in as many games. This one against a traditional quarterback on a traditional pass play. That will give the Vikings a 17-14 lead. They're going to get the ball back, take it down to about the 1 yard line. This pitch goes to longtime 49er Roger Craig. He breaks the plane, giving the Vikings now a more comfortable 24-14 lead. And even though they were in trouble, that's the score they walk out of here with, and it's a victory. This was a huge victory for the Minnesota Vikings. It was their 55th in Imperialism. We have 58 Imperialisms on tap, and since they've already won it 4 times, they have guaranteed themselves a winning record by the time it's all said and done, even if they lose for the rest of time. What it means for right now, though, is that they take over the Colts' territory, they expand their land, and as is usually the case for the Vikings, they stand as a threat going forward. The Chargers have been making some noise in this season's Imperialism, but they now will welcome the reigning Super Bowl champion Dallas Cowboys. Let's see if they're for real. So far they are. 21-10 lead in the third quarter, but the Cowboys are getting close. Direct snap to Emmitt Smith, and he's running it in for the touchdown. Dallas, facing that 11-point deficit, will now close it to a 4-point deficit. The Chargers will look to strike back. They've got it down to the 4 yard line. First and goal. Stan Humphries going to find receiver Nate Lewis alone in the end zone. Touchdown. And just like that, the Chargers restore the lead. Dallas is going to be looking to make the comeback here. We're in the fourth quarter from the 10 yard line. Troy Aikman's going to look for his receiver Michael Irvin. He makes the catch. Touchdown, Dallas. That'll make it 28-23. They go for 2 and they miss. But the Cowboy defense does the job. They get the ball back. They're at their own 21 yard line. 3:10 to go. Pitch to Emmitt Smith. Looking for the first down. He gets close, but Stanley Richard jars the ball loose. He also had an interception earlier in the game. The Chargers recover. They are now facing 3rd and goal from the 5 yard line. Marion Butts up the middle, stuffed. That'll lead to a field goal. 31-23. Dallas drops back. The ball's going deep for Alvin Harper. That's his specialty. He makes the catch, but the Cowboys struggle to move it from here. It's 4th and 1 from the 30. Only 12 seconds remain. It's a direct snap to Emmitt Smith. He's got the first down, but he gets taken down, and the clock expires. The Chargers do the job over the champions, 31-23. A major factor in the Cowboys' 92 Super Bowl championship was their defensive depth and their ability to rotate. That's taken away from them in video game form. This was the #1 defense in football that had 0 Pro Bowlers. That came to light here. The Cowboys lose. The Chargers take over their territory. They expand their land, and they have to be looked at as a favorite. Half the teams are out, half the teams are still in. We welcome the Giants to the game. They're going to head to the northwest. They've got to travel to the Steel City and play the Steelers. The Steelers' running game has been bullying the Giants all game long. It continues here. Barry Foster up the middle, easily goes in for the touchdown. The Steelers extend to 21-0. The Giants could do very little against this powerful Pittsburgh Steelers defense. This game was a laugher. The Steelers take it 31-0. With the entire top 5 comprised of NFC teams, it's easy to forget how good some of these AFC teams are. The Steelers take the Giants' territory from them, they expand their land, and they're sitting pretty in the Northeast. The Bengals and Vikings are getting back on the field. This game will be in Cincinnati. The Vikings are in control here, leading 14-3 late in the first half. The pitch goes to Terry Allen. He gets around the end. He hasn't been touched yet. Passing the 10-yard line, still untouched. Gets all the way through into the end zone for the touchdown. The Vikings take a 21-3 lead. They mostly sit on the lead. The Bengals had a couple of field goals. The Vikings have it in the fourth quarter. For some reason, they're passing, and this is intercepted by Eric Thomas. He's got some daylight. He may be thinking about taking this all the way. They get a hold of him here just around the 14-yard line, but he breaks away, and he's going to actually run this back in. The Bengals haven't done much in this game, but all of a sudden, it's 21-17. They get a 2-point conversion here. They're going to go ahead and try the onside kick. If they can get this, they have a chance to steal this game, and they do, but they've fallen down to 4th and 15. Boomer Esiason drops back, waiting for someone to get open. The defense collapses on him. They take him down. The Vikings make this more strenuous than it needed to be, yet they come away with a 21-17 victory. As we've seen over these seasons, the Vikings have a knack of winning games in Imperialism, even if it feels like they didn't truly deserve it. That said, they will take over the Cincinnati Bengals territory, and they're looking like the second biggest landmass in the country right now behind the Chargers. The Patriots get pulled into the game and they get the matchup they don't want. They have to travel to Buffalo. Somehow this game was scoreless after one quarter. It certainly did not stay that way. The Bills particularly blew up in the third quarter, scoring 28 points. Final score of this one, 55-0. Very little surprise here. The Bills had no problem winning this game. They take over the Patriots' territory and they expand their land. The Buffalo Bills get right back on the field. This time their opponents will be the Pittsburgh Steelers. Will they find the defensive sledding so easy against this group? So far they do. It's 17-3 in the second quarter. They have the ball. Handoff is going to go to Thurman Thomas around left end. Making some moves. A spectacular run here by Thomas for the touchdown. The Steelers' defense looks very mortal. They fall behind 24-3 with little time left in the first half. They need something to get them going. From the 47, this is play action. Neil O'Donnell fires to Jeff Graham across the middle, makes the catch, and is able to outrun the defense for the touchdown. A huge play for Pittsburgh, giving them life. It's 24-10 going into the second half. Buffalo not resting on its laurels. From the 27-yard line, Kelly drops back. The short slant is going to go to James Lofton. He's still got the speed, and he uses it there to get into the end zone. The Bills reestablish a 21-point lead, 31-10. How will Pittsburgh respond? This is 3rd and 13 from their own 37. Play action. O'Donnell's going to look again for Jeff Graham. He extends out and makes the catch, taken down at the 22-yard line. That will lead to this touchdown pass to tight end Adrian Cooper. So every time Buffalo takes a 21-point lead, Pittsburgh looks to strike back. It's 31-17. What can Buffalo do now? They're on to Steeler 39 late in the third quarter. Hand off to Kenneth Davis. The ball is loose, and the Steelers are going to pick it up. They're running it back. Buffalo's giving pursuit. They grab hold of him at the 20, at the 18. He's going to try to break free. He does. Finally take him down at the 8. Only leads to a field goal. but Pittsburgh gets it right back. Minute 25 to go. Neil O'Donnell's going to dump it off to Barry Foster, and he's going to do the rest. The Steelers, down by 17, have cut this to a 31-27 score. The onside kick is coming up now. The Steelers lay it down. They converge on it, and they recover. But they quickly face 4th and 9. 18 seconds. O'Donnell's going to drop back. He gets sacked. The ball is loose. The Steelers pick it up. A time is going to expire. They can't do anything with it. And the valiant comeback attempt falls short. The Bills hold on to win this game 31-27. For the Bills to score 31 points on this Steeler defense was mighty impressive. This wasn't the Patriots, but they got the win. They will take over the Steelers' territory, and only the Jets stand in their way from Northeast domination. And look who the wheel decides to land on. It'll be the Jets. No need to spin the arrow. They're enveloped by the Bills. That game is next. The Bills lead this game 14-2. They gave up a safety. Kenneth Davis plunges in from the goal line, scoring the touchdown, extending the Bill lead to 21-2. They go into halftime leading 21-5 and wind up winning this game handily, 35-8. The Bills finish off the business of cleaning up the Northeast. They will eliminate the Jets and take over their land. Here now for the second straight turn, we get to ignore the arrow. It's going to land on the Cardinals, and they too are enveloped, this time by the Chargers. The Chargers' dominance continues. They lead 24-3. This handoff goes to Larry Centers. Gil Bird will force the fumble free. Gil Bird will pick it up, and Gil Bird will run it back in for the touchdown. The Chargers' offense dominated. Now the defense is chipping in. That makes it 31-3. Our final score would be 52-9. Win it all, don't win it all, it doesn't matter. There's no denying this Charger team is for real. They're going to swallow up the state of Arizona, and they continue expanding their land. It's the biggest piece of land in the nation right now. We're going to be getting a rematch of 1992's AFC title game. Same location as well. The Buffalo Bills will travel to Miami to face the Dolphins. Miami leads 7-3, and they've got the ball in the Buffalo 30. Dan Marino is going to drop back. He's going to look for Mark Duper, makes the catch in space, and is able to get away from the defenders, gliding his way into the end zone. Miami extends their lead to 14-3. Buffalo's going to pull back a field goal before the half. And now here in the second half, they have it at their own 22. Jim Kelly will drop back. Looking deep to Andre Reed. There's nobody around him. This is going to be a race to the end zone. The Dolphins are giving chase, but they can't get there in time. A 78-yard touchdown cuts the lead down to 14-13. They get the ball right back, going the same direction from the 40-yard line now. You think maybe someone wants to cover Andre Reed? Kelly throws a deep. Reed makes the catch. And the Bills, who hadn't done anything but kick field goals in the first half, strike with 2 quick touchdowns in the third. They take a 20-14 lead. Now they're looking for more. They're on Miami's 10-yard line. Thurman Thomas is steamrolled by Jeff Cross. He fumbles. The Dolphins pick it up. And we're getting another race to the end zone. This time, it looks like they're going to be able to catch them, and they do at the 28-yard line. 4th and 3 now on this same drive. Bobby Humphrey gets up the middle and gets the first down, salvaging that turnover. From the 11, Marino, quick pass to Mark Clayton. They get him down at the 1, but it's now 3rd and goal. 2-yard line. The Bills back up their defense, anticipating pass. The Dolphins slip it to fullback. Tony Page does just enough to break the plane. The Dolphins turn that big turnover into points. The extra point gives them a 21-20 lead. Buffalo has time. from their own 28-yard line. Kelly in shotgun hands it off to Kenneth Davis. They've got him wrapped up at the line, but he gets away and he's running it past midfield down at the 46-yard line. A few plays later, they bring out their newly signed kicker, Steve Christie. 30-yard field goal attempt for the win. Faces no pressure and he buries it. And for once, a team kicking a whole bunch of field goals didn't see that move cost them. The Bills win this game in Miami, 23-21. It was a rematch of that AFC Championship game, and we had the same winner. The Bills take over the Dolphins' land. They run the East Coast now. We're down to 7 teams, and somehow over half of those teams have yet to see the field. No need to spin the arrow on this one. The Seahawks are surrounded by the 49ers. They got to go to San Francisco, and quite frankly, this game could get ugly. The 49ers already lead this game 27-0 in the third quarter. Steve Young steps up in the pocket, fires deep to Jerry Rice. He makes the catch, and he's by himself, and I don't know if the Seahawk defense will be able to catch him. This is an 88-yard touchdown pass from Steve Young to Jerry Rice. They're late to the game, but the 49ers put their stamp on it. This was a 51-0 drubbing. It's somewhat unlike the 49ers to wait this long to get involved in imperialism, but here they've done it, and they destroyed the Seahawks in the process. They will take over their land, and now only the Saints and Chiefs have yet to see the field. And just like that, the Saints and the Chiefs are drawn into the game. They're going to play each other in Kansas City. The Saints offense has been rooted into the ground in this game. They trail 14-0 in the third, and now backup quarterback Mike Buck himself gets rooted into the ground. Derek Thomas with the sack, the forced fumble, the recovered fumble, and the run back for the touchdown. A grand slam, if you will. The Hall of Famer gives the Chiefs a 21-0 victory. The Saints started making some noise in the fourth quarter, but it wasn't enough. The Chiefs take this game 21-9. This is the second straight season where the Chiefs have made a very late entry into imperialism, but just like the season before, they win their first game. They will take over the Saints' territory, and we're down to our final 5 teams. The Chiefs are right back at it, but this time they're on the attack. They're going to go into Minnesota to play the Vikings. This game started off with the teams exchanging touchdowns, but at 21-14, the Chiefs defense makes a stop. This deep pass from Dave Craig to J.J. Burden goes for a touchdown. The back and forth came to a stop, but the Chiefs kept going. That made this 28-14, and when all was said and done, the Chiefs walk away with a blowout victory, 45-17. In a season where every team in the top 5 was from the NFC, it's the AFC that's throwing its weight around. The Chiefs will take over the Vikings' territory, and now from this Final Four, only one of the top 5, the 49ers, remain, with 3 strong teams from the AFC. With precious little room to expand to, the wheel's going to give us a game. The Chargers head northwest to face off with the 49ers, the NFC's and the top 5's last team standing. This game was tight at one point, but the Chargers started pulling away from the 14. This pass is caught, an amazing diving catch by Anthony Miller for the touchdown, giving the Chargers a 21-7 lead. They led by as many as 28 points at one point before settling in for a final score of 38-20. We now say aloha to all the NFC teams and all the top 5 teams. The San Diego Chargers will take over the 49ers territory, and we're down now to 3 teams who have never won Imperialism before. We are guaranteed a first-time champion. Because the Chiefs expanded into North Dakota, the Chargers have nowhere to go now. They're going to go to Kansas City to play the Chiefs. That means the Bills will play for the Imperialism Championship for the first time. The Chiefs swept the regular season in '92 against the Chargers, but the Chargers beat them in the playoffs. How will Game 4 go? The Chargers offense is getting right to work from the Chief 29-yard line. Play action. Stan Humphries looks for Ronnie Harmon, makes the catch, breaks the tackle, gets it down to the 3-yard line. Very next play, the handoff, nope, it's play action again. The pass will go to Anthony Miller for the touchdown. The Chargers' play action has been on point all throughout this Imperialism. They're going to add a field goal with a 10-0 deficit now for the Chiefs. They are on the Charger 44-yard line. After some motion, Dave Craig, he's going to look for Willie Davis, makes a diving catch, gets up and picks up a little bit more down to the 9-yard line. On the next play, this handoff will go to Christian Okoye, knocking people out of the way, going in for the score. The Chiefs are still trailing, but they've cut that lead to 10-7. They're going to get the ball right back here. 3rd and 1 from inside the 1. Draw play to Barry Ward. He can't quite get in. What will they do? They're gonna go for it. 4th and inches. They got Ward and Okoye in the backfield. They're gonna give to Okoye, and he plunges in for the touchdown. The Chiefs will take their first lead of the game on a 4th and goal. It's 14-10. Second half, now 14-13. The Chiefs have 1st and goal from the 8-yard line. Craig drops back, dumps it off to Barry Ward. This time he's able to get in, and they quickly follow that with this deep pass to Willie Davis, punctuating a 28-3 run. The score of this game is now 28-13. The Chargers need to respond, but they got to get the ball away from the Chiefs first. Christian Okoye is going to pick up a first down here, but Floyd Field is able to knock the ball loose. Massive turnover for the Chargers. They run it down to the 34-yard line. They are now at the 29, 2nd and 5. Another play action works to perfection. Humphries gets the pass off to Anthony Miller. Huge play. It's not over yet. The Chargers trail 28-20. They will get the ball back. First down from the Chief 40. Humphries is going to straight drop back this time. Gets it off to Nate Lewis. Humphries is excelling at getting the ball out right in time. Now on first down, Rod Bernstein can't quite get in. 2nd down, Butts can't get in. 3rd down, they try Marion Butts again. He can't get in. What will they do? They're gonna go for it. We've seen a 4th down conversion for a touchdown already by the Chiefs. The Chargers are gonna try it now. It is play action. Humphries to Nate Lewis, gets his feet down. Touchdown. The Chiefs made a stirring comeback. The Chargers have done it now. 28-26. What will they do? They should go for 2 here, but they're gonna kick the extra point. Oh, but I think Tecmo Super Bowl likes to go for 2 under a minute. This kick is almost blocked, but the Chargers get it off and make it. So it's all on the onside kick now. 28-27. The Chargers lay the onside kick down. The Chiefs recover and get a decent return out of it. They're actually going to tack on a touchdown. And after all is said and done here, the Chiefs will eliminate the Chargers, winning this game 35-27. And here we are. 1992's Imperialism Championship game will be a modern-day rivalry. The Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills. We mentioned this will be the Bills' first title game appearance. For the Chiefs, it's their 3rd. They were in the first one, and they've now been in the last 2. Who's going to win 1992 Imperialism? Let's spin the wheel, find out where the game's going to be played, and then play that game. And this game's gonna be at Arrowhead. The Bills will travel to Kansas City for the title. Buffalo has the ball first as they near midfield. Jim Kelly will drop back to pass. He's going to look for Andre Reed. He'll make the catch, and coverage goes down at the 30-yard line. They've taken it now down to the 8-yard line. Jim Kelly will drop back again. He's going to look again for Andre Reed. No amount of coverage is going to stop him on this one. The Bills, as the Chargers did, will score first, but the extra point was blocked. Buffalo leads 6-0. Kansas City will drive it down to the 16 of the Chiefs. Barry Word takes it around, stays in bounds. They've got a hold of him, but he won't go down. Time expires. He gets away, breaks a tackle, drags him in. What a run by Barry Word. Tell me he doesn't want this. The Chiefs will take a 7-6 lead. Buffalo, though, in the second quarter, from the Chief 23, in the shotgun. The pass to Andre Reed makes the diving catch at the 8-yard line. It is now 2nd and goal from the 7. Kelly, play action. He's going to go to Reed again. The Chiefs are going to have to find a way to stop him. He scores, giving Buffalo a 13-7 halftime lead. We now enter the second half. The Chiefs have 3rd and 14. Receivers run deep routes. Running backs clear the path. Jonathan Hayes stays in the middle. He will drag his way to a first down. The Chiefs are making the hustle plays for sure. 2nd down from the 45. Craig is going to look deep to Willie Davis in stride. Touchdown, Kansas City. Wow, what a play there. They will kick the extra point, take a 14-13 lead. Now Buffalo has it 3rd and 4. Thurman Thomas gets swallowed. The Chiefs get the ball back. From the 42-yard line, Craig goes to J.J. Vernon, makes a diving catch. Kansas City has a good chance to really extend the lead. From the 10-yard line, Craig will drop back. He is going to look for J.J. Vernon. He makes the catch. That play the Chiefs made on defense to swallow Thurman Thomas was indicative of what they did the rest of the half. Buffalo could go nowhere. The Chiefs add one more. They win this game 28-13. And lo and behold, in the Imperialism universe, the Kansas City Chiefs will win a championship under head coach Marty Schottenheimer. This was a team that always knocked on the door but could never break through it. Now they have. By 1992, the Buffalo Bills were used to runner-up finishes. This was their 3rd consecutive Super Bowl they made it to, only to lose. They hadn't reached this point in Imperialism until this season, but once again they assumed the role of bridesmaid. Their victimizer this time was the Kansas City Chiefs, who we mentioned played the bridesmaid many times without ever actually reaching the Super Bowl. But Imperialism proved kinder, and in 1992, they are champions. Here is the roster they did it with. It's worth noting that Dave Craig is on his 2nd Imperialism winning roster, having been a part of the 1986 Seattle Seahawks. It was the power running game of Barry Word and Christian Okoye, combined with timely deep passing that got the job done. But everything filtered through this excellent offensive line, led by tackle stalwart John Alt, whose legacy in the NFL continues this season with his rookie first-rounder son. Defensively, the clear leader is Hall of Famer and legitimate all-time great Derek Thomas. Neil Smith may not be in the Hall, but he was dominant for stretches of time, and 1992 was part of that dominance. The addition of rookie corner Dale Carter to an already potent secondary proved indispensable, especially given his prowess in the return game. All in all, this was a solid unit that ended all of Buffalo's chances in the title game by pitching a second-half shutout. Scoring got off to a very slow start in 1992's first game, but it came roaring back during the rest of the first half of games. The Chargers contributed to much of that, a trend they continued in the second half of games. Even in their loss, they put 27 points on the board. They ran into the Chiefs though, who won 4 of the final 5 games, including that championship game victory. That doesn't mean the Chargers didn't have a great performance this season. In fact, they led the way with 5 victories. But one of those victories was not in the title game, which keeps them from the top of these standings. The Bills' 4 victories gave them a shot at that spot as well, but it goes to the Chiefs. Those 4 Chief victories brought them to a 500 record in the overall standings, leaving the Bills as the team with the most overall victories without an Imperialism title. The Vikings not only hold on to the top spot, but gave themselves some breathing room. Now the Giants and the Oilers jointly hold the lowest win percentage with only 12 wins each. Thank you so much for watching this latest edition of Imperialism. Please give it a like if you would, share with some friends, and please consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so already. 1993 will be right around the corner. Before we bounce, let's take one last look at Chiefs Nation. Literally. They will be back in 1993 to defend their title. I hope you will be here with us as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have an awesome day.